you, WWE, that is, of course. But nah, just a brief little entrance. I had to do the screw you entrance line from Becky Lynch, of course, from their recent split screen interview with Charlotte Flair about a month or so ago before their match at Hell in a Cell. But of course I had to include my, little $25 toy title I have sitting on my desk in front of my insert for my college diploma, because my real college diploma is framed but hasn't been hung up yet on the wall. But that was my phrase tonight, because I did have a rant kind of flip out once from something I'm going to rant about, of course, in this video. But aside from all of that, we still had another great effort tonight by the Blue Brand, as always, even though apparently, according to guys on WrestleTalk.com, they've heard, again, as I said last night, that Road Dogg is not the head writer of Raw. Apparently, it's some guy named Ed Koskey, whoever the heck it is. He sucks. And then we also have on SmackDown Live now is apparently both Road Dogg and Ryan Ward being the head writer, co-head writers for SmackDown Live. That's what I heard, according to what WrestleTalk heard. That I saw in a video. I think it was yesterday. So Ryan Ward's there, which is why there is some juice going on SmackDown Live. But that's why also there's some stuff that it's a little head scratching. But, we'll talk more about this as we get into this live review. So, guys, what's up as always? This is Cold Man 1993 coming at you, and this is my live review of SmackDown Live. Man, that train's rolling big time out there. The October 9th, 2018 edition of SmackDown Live that took place in Indianapolis, Indiana, of course, a.k.a. Indy, home of the Indianapolis Colts, Indiana Pacers, the Pirates AAA team, the Indianapolis Indians. But, of course, I'm not here to discuss sports. I'd be Jonathan Coachman if I did so. I'm here to talk about things episode of SmackDown Live, which overall I thought was a very strong show. This close to giving it an A- was a couple little nitpicks, though, that prevented me from doing so. So we'll get into it, though, and talk about it all as we talk about this 2-hour breeze of a show that I felt that was, nice and relaxing and sit through. It was also episode number 999, not the price it is to monthly for the WWE Network subscription. But episode 999 of SmackDown Live, as next week will be SmackDown Live 1000, which of course is on an awesome day because next Tuesday is also my dad's birthday. So I'll be celebrating that and then watching SmackDown Live 1000. Hopefully we'll get some surprises, and not everybody announced is the only things we're getting for SmackDown Live. Have some surprises. Maybe The Rock, John Cena, which I don't know if that'll happen, which he should return for SmackDown Live 1000. We are getting The Undertaker and Evolution for the first time since Batista did that in 2014. We'll be seeing him on TV. Rey Mysterio is returning to have a World Cup qualifier match with Shinsuke Nakamura. I can't remember if there was anyone else, but I'm sure. Oh, I think I heard rumors also Michelle McCool's going to be there. So maybe we'll get a couple other female talent as well. So hopefully SmackDown Live 1000 will definitely top off Raw 25 and make Raw 25 look like just a little piss show. Anyways, let's check the live chat and see who we got here. Oh, so far we got nobody. That's just disappointing, but it's full disappointing anyway. So anyways, let's move on now. We are here now again live for my SmackDown Live review. As I said, if anybody joins me live, that would be awesome. If not, oh well. So let's get started talking about the first hour of this show as we talk about this thing hour by hour now, as I say. The show opens up immediately. We already have Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in the ring for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship rematch because Becky got herself disqualified in a cowardly event on Saturday at Super Showdown. So the rematch is happening. However, the stipulation was added: if Becky Lynch gets just disqualified, nothing about countouts. If Becky gets disqualified, she loses the title. Which I'm like, okay, fair game. But then I thought, so either Charlotte's going to win it or they will do a double countout. But then I'm thinking, don't do the one thing I can definitely see them doing. I saw this happening. I'm glad it wasn't completely the result of what exactly happened, but something did happen. But put that aside for a second. Let's talk about, the good from this match. They gave these two women a lot of time. I believe this match took up probably the first half hour of the show, which I was cool with because, again, throw aside the dynamic of what's going on with this match right now. But either way, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, no doubt about it, have great chemistry together. They definitely bring out the best in each other. And, for most of this match and their other matches, despite the fact a couple little sections of it, it does look like these two women are literally trying to beat the crap out of each other and have like that bloodbath pretty much. Well, they don't bleed or anything, but they obviously go to war when they face each other in the match. But here's the part that I did not like. So Saturday, Becky Lynch tried running away with the championship. Running away, making her just another typically coward heel saying, I can't beat her, when she just beat her clean recently at Hell in a Cell. So, I mean, here's the thing. After a while, it's okay to have a dominating heel do that. But give them like a long stretch, pretty much, and then have them, do like, the cowardly heel tactic to get themselves out of it. Kind of like what Asuka. Well, here's the thing. In NXT, when Asuka had her first match with Ember Moon and realized for the first time, hey, I have a true threat here that could, take away my title and hand me my first loss in Ember Moon. She didn't, take her title and try to run away. She, just cheated in some way, and she hit the rope to, throw off Ember Moon pretty much. Like, that's okay. But it's still way too soon for Becky Lynch to try to be like exposing weaknesses. You're already making her look weak by having her just, take the championship and try to run. Instead, she got herself DQ'd. So once again, the stipulation was, and there was a point in the match where they were threatening to disqualify her because the referee caught her in the ring holding the championship until Charlotte grabbed her for the roll. But I thought that was going to be it, and Charlotte's going to win the title there. But then Becky rolled up, and that didn't work either. But then these two just continued to brawl outside. Anyways, I'm sorry. I jumped too far ahead. Becky couldn't get DQ'd. So before that whole incident happened, backtrack a second, got myself mixed up. I wouldn't have done that so, but anyways, Becky Lynch, after Charlotte did a moonsault on her, Becky just randomly, and the thing too is, it wasn't like, like Charlotte tried to get Becky into the figure 8 or anything. It was just randomly, Becky just gets out of the ring, goes for the title, and goes to leave. Just to walk away. It was not even at a point where you felt that Becky Lynch was, trapped, like she was doomed. It wasn't in that point at all whatsoever. So WWE is continuing still to try to sabotage us to this fact that we have to boo Becky Lynch and love Charlotte Flair. Yes, Charlotte's awesome. Charlotte's a great talent. Charlotte has definitely worked hard. Again, Charlotte does deserve the success she's received. But right now, you can't force us to cheer for her. Again, Becky Lynch, everything she's saying is true. A promo, I can't remember what exactly she said, but she kind of like a promo before the show happened. I saw it online on Twitter. I retweeted it on Twitter. And everything Becky said in it was true. How she has had the scratch and claw, and she was tired of living in Charlotte's shadow. And she was speaking the truth. I'd say at least 90% of the population could at least agree with what Becky Lynch, has to say, and could feel for Becky Lynch. And that's why I refuse, and a lot of us refuse to boo her, because she's literally now just tired of, just being nice. I mean, yeah, I know she's not being nice, so she can't be a baby face. Well, it's called she's doing what she has to do to get what she wants, but she's not, bashing us, and, she's just telling the truth. She's trying. She is the underdog. She is trying to overcome someone who has obviously had a lot more success than her, and she's been living in her shadow for the past 2 years. Obviously, she's going to eventually get frustrated, like some of us do get frustrated, but we're not getting where we want to either. So that's wrong. That is wrong for us to, get frustrated and take a different avenue to try to see what else we can do to, to make ourselves successful. Is that wrong, WWE? Is that why we should hate Becky Lynch? Because Becky is trying something else to make her successful, but she's doing nothing wrong. She's doing nothing wrong, but you're making her do something completely out of character at completely random times by trying to walk away from fights. This early already in this heel run, it can't happen. But then afterwards, we get the finish exactly what I wanted to. They brawled outside the ring and got the double countout, which before this match started, I said that's how this match needs to end. A double countout. With no, the two of them trying to beat the crap out of each other. Literally, here's the thing. When they're beating the crap out of each other, it felt like Becky wanted to be there and just kill Charlotte. That's what it felt before that brief, I can't even talk that brief, 2 or 3 minutes when Becky was playing, a cowardly role. It just felt so out of place. It feels forced because it's not natural. It is not natural. So as I tweeted out, and I'm sure I tweeted when I was answering a couple other people's tweets on Twitter, as I had to say to WWE who's trying to sabotage Becky Lynch, WWE, screw you. Just screw you in general for trying to sabotage us and troll with us. And that's not on Ryan Ward. That's on Road Dogg. I know Road Dogg is the one trying to force us. But what do I know? But aside from that, though, the match was good, was great. The beatdown was great when Becky was not being a coward. And, of course, this all ends with Charlotte spearing Becky through the stage. I mean, it didn't go completely through, but they obviously shattered parts of the LED thing on the stage right by where the entrance is. So that was cool, and it looked like it did cut up Charlotte a little bit. So hopefully she is okay. Well, I mean, if she was in the mixed match challenge match, then I am sure she'd be okay. But I haven't really watched the mixed match challenge this season. I just have no interest in it. So we got that again. Good match. Didn't like the part with Becky, of course, walking away, being a coward. But other than that, solid effort and great effort tonight by the women's division. And again, Becky and Charlotte, you both bring the best out of each other, and you really do show how good each of you can be every time you have matches. And, of course, later in the show, it was made official by the SmackDown general manager page of the action that recently took place that there will be one final match between Becky and Charlotte at WWE Evolution. And as I predicted, although they were slightly wrong, even though it's the first one on the main roster, it's not the first one in WWE because there was a last woman standing match in NXT last year between Asuka and Nikki Cross. Awesome match. If you have not seen it, I do recommend going back and looking at it. But we're going to get that for the SmackDown Women's Championship between Becky Lynch and Charlotte. It'll be for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, last woman standing, which honestly should be the main of the show. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the main event of the show because this, in Vince's eyes, is what WWE wants to see in their main event of Evolution. And I know I'm going to do this in a plain white shirt and plaid pants. Well, I mean, with my shirt that high. And plaid pants. But this is Vince McMahon's main event. Ronda Rousey, which, okay, she deserves a main event against that's what Vince McMahon sees in his glory-eyed, his, through his rose-colored glasses and whatnot. And what he's in the main event, Nikki Bella shaking her ass and showing off her tits. Okay, that's a little too much for me to say there, but we're getting Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella probably in our main event at Evolution. When this match, last woman standing, you cannot tell me a last woman standing match is not superior of being the main event, but a match with Ronda Rousey, which again, all credit, she's done good so far, taking on, again, pretty much just a sex appeal object in the main event of a historic pay-per-view. Cut me a break. Cut me a break. Actually, you know what? Right now, I'm going to do this. I am going to go on Twitter, and I'm going this far. I am going this far. Last night, when I got involved in a little Twitter, conversation of people bashing Road Dogg, I thought Road Dogg was going to block me. Road Dogg's going to block me for this. So, WWE, Vince McMahon, almost tagged Vince Russo. I have a friend named Vince Russo, not the Vince Russo who used to be a writer for WWE. Vince McMahon, Road Dogg, Triple H. Let's see what the fans believe the main event of Evolution should be. Raw, SmackDown Live, 205 Live, NXT for the hashtags. I am going to in Ronda versus Nikki, Becky versus Charlotte, last woman standing. That tweet is going to go up right now, and it is a poll. So if you follow me on Twitter, make sure to participate in this. Let's see what the fans believe the main event of Evolution should be. Let's see here. And I'm pretty sure two of those people, at least, Road Dogg and Vince McMahon, will gladly say that it should for sure be Ronda and Nikki. So let's see what the rest of the fans say. And if I can find that tweet, I will see if we get any results by the end of the show. But I fired the shots. That's right. I have no balls today at all, guys. I'm in a pissy mood already, so I am firing the shots at Vince McMahon and Road Dogg right now. And proving to him, well, then again, if I do so, he wouldn't care. He would Road Dogg. But which match should definitely be the main event of Evolution? Vote right here for Charlotte and Becky, last woman standing. There, one of your golden girls can be in the main event because it has her and someone else that has a true heat in this feud. Even though there's little nitpicks of it that bother me still, this feud needs to be the main event Evolution. Plus, they are two of the four horsewomen who made a difference, and one who's people who pushed. How should I say this? Two, the pioneers who brought back the women's wrestling feel. Heck, you could honestly put Mickey, the tag match between Trish, Lita, Alexa, and Mickey as the main event of Evolution over Nikki and Ronda, and I'd be completely for it. I'd be fine with it because anything, well, maybe not for a bunch of jobbers. No Riot Squad match in the main event. Well, okay, Ronda and Ruby though I wouldn't find the main event. Charlotte and Becky needs to be the main event. It has to be. It has to be. I'm dead serious there. But I talked a lot already about the women. Let's move on now further into the show for this. They showed well, first they're announcing that that next week for SmackDown Live 1000, they're going to be getting Undertaker on a show, getting announced Evolution. Hopefully we'll get The Rock or Cena or some other people. We'll see. We're definitely in Rey Mysterio, though, in a match. But we have video packages throughout the night for the four people participating in our two World Cup qualifier matches for, I should say, it's my fans love this size, Crown Jewel. Which, again, as I said, I don't care just for this World Cup. Yeah, I know it's to determine who is the best in the world, but if this is determined who's the best in the world, then why aren't the WWE champions in this match? Why, if they win this, whoever wins this, do they get a title shot? To me, it's going to be the same thing as, winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or the fabulous, I'm sorry, as my friend calls it, F the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royale. Like the Andre the Giant, that King of the Ring, they win it, but then okay, you can call yourself a king, but what's it really done for you? What are you getting in return for this? Just bragging rights and whatnot. Something else besides bragging rights. Really, if the Miz gets in his tournament and goes on to win it, and then has an excuse to go after Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles in the championship feud, boom, Randy Orton, him being in it now. If that's good excuse from guys at the championship as well, boom, cool. But so far, well, we'll get to the field for that in a second. And also, actually, speaking of at the end, I forgot to mention this before the stream started, but I have something else at the end I want to talk about. So please, after I'm done reviewing the show, stay tuned for another couple more minutes. That way I can share something else with you guys that I did a calculation for today. Anyways, though, but getting back to this, we got to the hype videos for each of the 4 participants. The first one we had was Jeff Hardy versus Samoa Joe, which wasn't a fan of just bringing back Jeff Hardy like nothing happened. Because last time we saw Jeff Hardy, he took a nasty fall in Hell in a Cell, and all of a sudden he's back. Like nothing happened. That was weird. And then Joe came out, and Joe's still, selling that knee injury that he suffered at Super Showdown. And the match barely happened at all because the referee had to stop the match because Joe was barely able to stand. So I don't know if Joe is legitimately hurt or if this is storyline-wise. So let me say this. If it's storyline-wise and based off of what I'm going to talk about after the show, maybe they're considering turning Samoa Joe babyface. That might be a little too far-fetched me saying. I mean, I do agree Joe is much better as a heel. But what if this is a tease for Samoa Joe babyface turn? I don't know if it would be the case. I mean, I like to see him still face, Daniel Bryan. Other than that, I mean, maybe John Cena also. Well, as a heel, still being a heel face John Cena, but this may cause another injury for Joe. And Joe's had a bad thing with injuries. So I'm hoping this is not a real injury. I'm hoping this is just a storyline thing, but I'm definitely a little worried about Joe, especially after losing the feud to AJ Styles, which again, not upset that AJ's still a champion, but I do think that, the iron was hot for Joe. He needed it. So yeah, so I wasn't a big fan of the match. So because Joe was forced to pretty much, forfeit and the referee had to stop time, Jeff Hardy wins and he qualifies now for the World Cup. And so far, before I really went at the end, of course, it's Jeff Hardy, John Cena, who just randomly got inserted there without having to qualify. Like, what's up with that? And Kurt Angle, who snuck back into the Baron Corbin Global Battle Royale to get a spot in the World Cup and to eliminate Corbin. So far we had Cena, Angle, and Hardy so far being in this match. Let me check the live chat first before I get to the next segment, which is the Miz TV segment. Let's see. We've got Lauren. Hey, Lauren, saying, hey, SmackDown was an A- for her. The best match was Charlotte versus Becky, and the worst she thought was Shelton and AJ. That match still wasn't too bad, I felt, but definitely probably might have been one of the weaker matches on the card. Crown Jewel, she thinks actually looking decent. They say Cena is on Raw. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, Cena's a free agent. Yeah, so I am, again, I don't know why Cena's representing Raw. And again, he just got inserted without qualifying. He's been gone. I think the last time he really was, well, besides being on I'm sorry, the last time Cena was actually at a non-glorified house show event was WrestleMania, because he was at Greatest Royal Rumble in a decent match with Triple H. And then he went on a couple of European tours and, besides his movies, and then he was just on another glorified house show, Super Showdown. So what has he done recently to deserve to be in this match? And Laura never was Becky either. Charlotte injured her wrist. That was her fault. That would suck if she did. She doesn't think that Rey Mysterio Nakamura is going to be exciting. Not sure what to expect from either, but it'll be good to at least see Rey again, because I love Rey. But thank you for your stuff in the live chat, Lauren. Moving on, we will get to next. This actually was a really good Miz TV segment. Miz came out saying he was told to remain professional. His guests tonight, giving a deep sigh, talking about how his 2 guests will be fighting for the WWE title at Crown Jewel, and they come out, which are of course AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. AJ, before Bryan was introduced, AJ asks how his family is, and which Styles doesn't. Miz asks AJ how his family is, which Styles doesn't really take too well. Before the A-lister says, as a father, he understands his rage and thinks it leads him to victory, which, he's trying to get under his skin after what Samoa Joe has just put him through recently. But he claims that his opponent in Saudi Arabia will only tend to his garden if he goes to AJ's house. By the book, better than a Boy Scout, Daniel Bryan. Bryan comes out, him and Styles shake hands, and Miz criticizes them for doing that. Bryan said he heard Miz talk about the title match at Super Showdown, and asks if, because him and Bryan and Styles were firing the shots at Miz. This is quite comical. Bryan asks, though, if they'd like to talk about their match. That, of course, won't take too long. Miz just flips out, pledges to, but he said he promises to remain professional. He ignores that. He asks AJ where Daniel ranks among his other challengers. Styles says, as of late, Joe has been his greatest competitor, even though he brought things to his doorstep to make it personal, and this match is going to stay between the ropes. Miz says he is saying he's better than everyone, but both Bryan and AJ confirm that he didn't say that. Bryan says that he's glad Styles thinks he's better than him, which Miz is confused. Bryan explains he wants to be a worthy opponent, and nobody in WWE is more worthy than AJ, given his 300-plus day title reign. AJ has earned the right to think he's better than everyone, and to be fair, Bryan admits he's got a lot to prove since he came back. Deep down, he knows, though, he can beat AJ. Styles says that's fine, but he hasn't faced anyone that's phenomenal. Bryan says they're having fun poking at the 2-Minute Man, calling the Miz a 2-Minute Man. But the truth is, this match at Crown Jewel is the very reason he fought so hard to come out of retirement. He talked for a long time about fighting for his dreams, but never explained what his dream was. He goes through all these listings, how he didn't come back to have fun or reunite with Team Hell No or fight this jerk, referring to the 2-Minute Man Miz. His dream was to come back and win the WWE Championship. And the only thing standing in his way now between him and his dream is AJ. AJ gets up and says he's not moving for Bryan or for anybody. And they square off pretty much, starting to, kind of getting a little, heated. Miz congratulates them for finally doing something interesting, he claims. But then AJ asks Daniel Bryan, how good does it feel to punch the Miz in the face? And Bryan is like, you know what? It feels pretty good. He loved punching Miz in the face, which I'm sure all of us would. Styles agrees and points out that he once knocked the Miz's tooth out. The Miz starts flipping out, and he backs off and hides behind the ropes because he is a coward, but a good coward. An entertaining coward. He gets behind the ropes and says the truth is Bryan stole his title match with a fluke small package, and the footage will show his shoulder was up, but Paige would not give him a rematch. He beat down Bryan last week after week, and he comes up with this lame roll-up to a win. At least when he beat Bryan, he knocked him out. And AJ's just Bryan with an annoying Southern accent. WWE champion for almost a year, and the title's never been more irrelevant. All Styles has to do is look in the mirror to see why the title doesn't main event anymore. And Miz says no matter who wins in Saudi Arabia, he's got the next shot. He tells AJ to wipe his grin off his face because he's wrestling the guy that beat Daniel Bryan last week, Shelton Benjamin. Shelton comes out. Him and Styles have the match. Match was all right. I mean, I do, again, Shelton Benjamin obviously is very out of shape. And there's no secret about that. Shelton Benjamin is very out of shape for, being in his early to mid 40s. I do appreciate though, he comes out and he does show a little bit more of an aggressive side the past 2 weeks because obviously he's been sitting on the sidelines for how long looking at opportunities. But he got a win last week, but he lost this week, which is what I expected. Would you really expect AJ Styles to lose to, guy who's kind of more of a low card right now, Shelton Benjamin? But I thought Benjamin also gave another, aggressive performance. Again, nothing phenomenal or anything. Well, of course, the guy he was facing is phenomenal. But I give him credit that he at least is kind of there's something there that I feel at least showing that more aggressive side because he's trying to, take advantage of his opportunities as a simple story is being told. Miz and Bryan were on commentary just trashing each other, of course, which was quite entertaining. But AJ eventually does beat Shelton. But Bryan puts over that, he would rather face a guy like Shelton Benjamin, gave Shelton credit for beating him last week. And then, but of course, he also gives AJ Styles credit as well, that he'd be a great opponent. Bryan, of course, applauds AJ and Shelton for their match. Miz criticizes him for his display of respect. we then had more video packages about the big show and later on in English as well for their World Cup qualifier match. And then next we get part white 2 of part white 2. Did I just really say that? Part 2 of One Night in Milwaukee. So Aiden English is out in the ring. He says last week he gave us a glimpse of One Night in Milwaukee, and he got 6-figure offers to sell it. But he's got something else in mind. So here's a director's cut of One Night in Milwaukee. The video plays picking up with, right at the end of last week's footage with Aiden English, practicing, his entrance for whatever show they were doing that night in Milwaukee. And of course they show Lana coming in, saying what she said last week. But this time we get past the "I want you," and she continues to saying, I want you to know how much you mean to Rusev. She puts over Aiden English is singing over and tells him how much they applaud him and what he's done for Rusev's career. Aiden says that means a lot to him, and they both mean the world to him. But then he puts his hand on her shoulder. Then the video pauses again. And he's already teasing us again, saying, if we want to see the rest, he's got a proposition. He wants Rusev to come out to the ring and saying that he will show us the rest. He's not going to show us the rest, but he will destroy the video if Rusev won't kick Lana to the curb and reunite with him to show that he's more important than Lana, because they, after all, are Rusev Day. I'm sorry. Rusev Day. So Rusev comes out with Lana, and they just stare him down. Rusev, of course, Aiden's starting, trying to convince Rusev to come to him and show him that he's more important to him than Lana. But then Rusev speaks and says this is real serious, and he wants to see the full tape. Aiden says he can't play the full tape because this is a family show. But if he won't, Lana will. And Aiden's like, yeah, right, you're not going to do that. But then, of course, as we've probably been seeing, I've seen this a lot. I don't know how much you've been on social media, guys, but I've seen a lot. Apparently, there's been a lot of hacking going on, like Facebook and whatnot, recently this past weekend. No, I was not hacked as of now, thank goodness. But Lana and Rusev say that English got hacked because Lana says it's pretty obvious when your password is I heart Rusev. Anyone could do it. So she restarts the video. The same time, starts again, right where they originally started at the beginning of this segment with, right when Lana first comes in. And they get to the part where English goes to touch Lana on her shoulder. The video continues, and you see Lana and Rusev just standing there smirking, like they know they busted Aiden and just proved that he was just trying to get in their heads. Lana shoves him away and says he must have misunderstood, and she storms out of the door, and then Aiden English pretty much comes across as a creep, and he shuts out the video. Aiden admits that they got him, but he tells Lana that the offer is on the table. If she gets bored of those Rusev days, she can treat herself to an Aiden night. Rusev just stormed down. Aiden goes to run away, but Rusev gets a hold of him, and he gets a little bit of offense in, but Aiden does run away, and Rusev stands tall, and obviously, yeah, we're probably going to get a match probably on SmackDown Live in the next few weeks, maybe next week, I'm not sure, but I don't know if this is going to be a crown jewel match or anything, because, it's I kind of wish this whole thing would have dragged out one more week. Like, I think, they could have, saved us, explained that, they were hacked and leave us with a little more speculation for one more week. I felt like it was just a week too early, I felt, to expose this. But because they did it, so it just kind of shows that, yeah, Aiden English, tried but failed. But Aiden's not going to be doing much on his own. I feel I really don't see Aiden English getting much far as a singles competitor. So again, not bad, but I felt like they could have given this one more week. I felt, in my opinion. Then, of course, it was announced that Ray's going to be returning next week and having a match with Shinsuke Nakamura for a qualifying match. Then we had our main event, the second World Cup qualifying match, Randy Orton versus the returning Big Show. This is the first time we've seen Big Show in a match. I don't think he was at WrestleMania 34 in honor of Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I could be wrong, but I don't think he was. The last time I do remember seeing him in action was last year in the steel cage match with Braun Strowman, where Strowman just rammed Show through the steel cage. And again, credit where credit is due, Big Show did a great job putting over Braun Strowman in 2017. The series of matches they had, definitely underrated, in my honest opinion. Like, definitely an underrated, non-pay-per-view feud from 2017 was Big Show and Braun Strowman. Big Show came out looking in decent shape. Orton came out. I thought maybe Ty would come out and, cost Orton a match. Or, maybe it does not work. Because if Ty would attack Orton, Orton get disqualified. And why wouldn't Big Show not want to go after Ty if that happened? Unless it was just, Ty turning heel and got into the head. And that's because Orton got into the head of him after, Orton took out one of Ty's fingers. Now instead of he's a perfect 10, he's a perfect 9. But that did not happen, though, as that's decent, better than I expected, but wasn't really much of anything special. You kind of felt Randy Orton out of his element a little bit. Orton poked Big Show in the eye, and then he snuck in for the first time since Randy Orton returned from injury and turned heel. He has an RKO on Big Show, and he wins. Poses, and that's how it ends. So far, for the World Cup qualifier, we have, for World Cup, the two from Raw, John Cena and Kurt Angle. 2 part-timers. SmackDown Live, Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton. Not bad, but a bunch of old guys. Bunch of experienced guys. Get like Finn Balor in there. The Miz. Who else? We'll probably get Rey Mysterio in there, which, okay, fresh face. Haven't seen him for a while, but get some other new talents in there. Samoa Joe's not going to be in there now, so don't know what's going to happen to him now. He's nothing now? Who knows? But that was the main event. That was SmackDown Live. I'll say the grades till after I do the other thing I want to do tonight. But let's see what we got in the live chat. Just a few messages from Lauren saying, "Where's the stream? Hopefully it's still working. Sorry she missed this. Had to walk the pups. It's all right. Cena isn't on Raw. He's a freaking part-timer. True, but in WWE's eyes, he's on Raw apparently. But yeah, he's a free agent, but they're just pushing the fact that he's just been doing nothing but Raw since he became a free agent. Despite the fact he went to SmackDown for one night just to get there. She'll say Finn, Rollins, Miz, and maybe Rusev should be at Crown Jewel. Maybe that wouldn't be too bad of a field to round them out with Finn and Rollins being the baby faces. Of course, Rollins being there could prompt more, to the story of Dean Ambrose turning heel. Again, I just feel like, he's tired of the Rollins and Reigns getting in front of him, but that's for another day, of course. Cena better be at SmackDown Live 1000. If not, that's a slap in the face. Oh, yeah, it is, definitely. Cena's debut was on SmackDown Live. And most like the earlier days of his career before he became Super Cena, he was on SmackDown. So I agree. Cena should be there next week. She wasn't a fan of Aiden's Milwaukee thing, saying it was bullshit. I mean, as I said before he came back, I felt that they could have probably given it one more week. So I felt like they kind of rushed it a little bit. Just to give us a little bit more speculation for one more week. But it just pretty much shows that they have no long-term plans for Aiden English as a single star. Hopefully, though, they do have some for Rusev because I love Ruru. I had to bring back Summer Rae thinking for him. Ruru. 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 You know it. I gotta go that crazy. She's gonna give SmackDown Live an A- again. I will wait though to go over the grades because I have one more thing I want to do before I give my grades and close out this live review. So let me do that right now. So yesterday in my Raw review, and of course probably in my 4 turn lords I did last night, I mentioned how there is some more people that definitely need a heel turn. Dean Ambrose, Bobby Roode, Definitely Charlotte, maybe Asuka. A couple other people maybe he's a heel turn. Of course, Roman Reigns, but that's not going to happen. But I said also how they need to hold off on some of these heel turns. Well, the Dean Ambrose one, there's no stopping the Dean Ambrose heel turn. That's happening. That is happening. But around that, we need some face turns. I think Braun Strowman needs to be a babyface again. Becky Lynch, well, maybe they'll turn either McIntyre or Ziggler is turning face. Maybe McIntyre. Like I said, maybe they turned Kevin Owens face last night. I'm not 100% sure. So until I'm positive, I'm still going to consider him a heel. And a few others that definitely need to turn babyface. But here's the thing. So I went through the whole main event roster. Raw, SmackDown Live, and 205 Live. Now, I did two separate lists, of course, for these. I put all the stars, including managers and corporate figures, except for a few part-timers. Like I didn't include Triple H. I included Stephanie McMahon first. I didn't include Triple H. I didn't include Shawn Michaels. I didn't include Trish or Lita or all these part-timers. Brock was still on this list, though. I included Paige also. Well, again, here's the thing. At first, I included a lot of people, but then I did a second list taking away the more irrelevant ones. And it really says something, especially for the Raw brand. So let me pull up my list here. Actually, can I by any chance... Where did I? Oh, it's at the. I was going to share screen this at first, but I don't want to give away the list with the since this is all these lists, I'll have just more of the more relevant people. So according to my list again, and I even included 205 Live stars, which means 205 Live stars shouldn't really matter too much when it comes to this, but 205 Live is pretty even as far as face and heels go. I think I counted 15 superstars, 9 and 8, and only like one heel and one face I came across had not really been used at all. So I think I took them off the list, which is Arya Daivari and Mark Andrews, because they haven't really been used well. But either way, and depending on, I'm still not sure where the Brian Kendrick weighs in. It's 8 and 7 either way, whichever way it goes. So that's pretty even as far as the face and heel bounce. Raw men I counted again. This is individuals from tag teams. A few corporate figures that I felt were relevant to at least be considered this. Well, Kurt Angle was included in this at first until I took the part-timers out. But I counted at first 22 faces for the men on Raw and 23 heels for the men on Raw. For the women on Raw, 6 baby faces and 10 heels. 10 heels. 10 heels on Raw, and that includes Stephanie McMahon. Taking her away, that's still 9. That's still kind of a little bit of a big gap there. For SmackDown, the men's baby faces, 15, men's heels, 16. So SmackDown is not the biggest problem with this ratio, looking at farther at it. Heels, well, though, I'm sorry, heels, though, there's still a lot of heels on SmackDown Live. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. I looked at the wrong numbers. Still like 15 and 16, pretty much, for the heels. For the women, for the heels, I mean, for the faces and heels. Apparently, a SmackDown Live. I'm losing track here. Wow, come on, Mike, focus. I'm sorry. 6 baby faces, including Paige. 9 heels. There's that big balance there. And I told you about 205 Live. Now, what I did was I went back and I took out anybody that either is just mainly on the roster just to be on main event, or superstars who have been injured for a while, or are part-timers and don't really count, or just the corporate figures. Like I took out the Singh brothers. I took out Stephanie McMahon. I took out what is it called? You get what I mean there. I try to keep as many relevant stars on these lists as possible. And I'll go over the ones that didn't change too much first. I'm not going to say everyone on there, except for maybe one. But first, I'll say this too. So far, WWE has a total on the main roster of 58 baby faces and 66 heels. A little more heavy on the heel side there, but that's not going to look as bad as what I'm going to share with you now. So again, on 205 Live, out of the nine baby faces, 8 of them have been relevant. And that does not include Mark Andrews because hasn't really been used since the Cruiserweight Championship tour, but he's still listed under the 205 Live roster. Heels, 7 out of 8 because Arya Daivari is not being used. But that's cool because I never really liked him anyways. Let's do the SmackDown side first. For the men's baby faces, I felt 11 out of 15 of them have still been at least using at least like a decent role. I've been used in some like decent capacity. 11 out of 15 of them, which is better than what we're going to get to in a little bit. For the men's heels, it's 12 out of 16 I got, which again not bad. The women's baby faces, I counted 5 out of 6. That's not including Paige. The heels, who did I take out? I took out Tamina. Sonya, Tamina. Who else did I take out? There was 9 I had here listed. I can't remember who all was here. Great. I already messed up. So I got to go back now and check my list. Check the SmackDown Live women's roster. Who did I all take out on here? I still have Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay. Man, I'm taking out too many on one list. Let me see here. What did I take out? I took out Asuka. Oh yeah, I took out Asuka and Naomi because they've. Oh, Naomi. No, what am I? Dumbass. Who did I take out? Who did I take out of the SmackDown women? Maria Kanellis and Maurice. Okay. Tamina, Maria Kanellis, and Maurice, because they haven't really been used. Those are ones. Now, I'm not like a dumbass anymore. So that's 6 out of 9. Okay, that's not the biggest thorn in the side. Let's move to Raw and listen to these numbers. We'll start with the women first. The babyface women, I put 6 out of 6, even though I was going to take Sasha Banks off the list, but I couldn't take her off, even though like none of the other baby faces on Raw are really being used that well at all. I mean, we saw Bayley and Sasha being involved in matches whenever healthy. Ember Moon, yeah, and Nia Jax, yes, they're having matches, they're pointless, whatnot. I think the only person was right now on their side. For the heel side, I took out Dana Brooke and Stephanie McMahon, because Dana Brooks just pointless, very pointless at this point, not have any clear direction at all whatsoever. So that's 8 out of 10 for there, and 6 out of 6. Let's talk about the men, but let's start with the heels. I counted 23 heels, and I went back and took out the ones that felt like all they've done so far is just been on main event or been just jobbers pretty much. 15 of them remain on the list after I took out some of the irrelevant ones. 15 out of 23. And if you think this is bad, let's get to the baby faces on Raw. And here's the thing also, even looking at this list for baby faces, I still feel most of these can still be taken off. And I'll read you this list. This is the only remaining baby faces that I left on this list. Again, this does not include Kurt Angle. I mean, you could kind of still include him since he is the GM, but he's been gone for a while. 8 baby faces, and I'm pretty sure at least 4 of these could probably still be taken off this list. Bo Dallas, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Curtis Axel. Those 4 only because the B Team were Raw Tag Team Champions recently. Yeah, they're not kind of irrelevant now, so they kind of don't count, but that's still saying something. Like, and then Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, they've been on Raw every single week, having a points view of the Ascension, but they've been used. Finn Balor, despite the fact that he's not being booked well at all, he's still being booked in like feuds that just to fill up time. And then Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. There was 22 people I had on this list, not including the part-timers, as like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and a few others and whatnot that, had to be there just to, save the show. But this is the biggest Achilles heel right now, reason why the face and heel balances on the main roster feels balanced. Okay, you can even go as far as to take out Dallas, Rude, Gable, and Axel because they're not being used also. So really on Raw, we only have 4 to 8 reasonable baby faces right now. Out of 22, 4 to 8 of them feel like they have something going. Everyone else, not Apollo Crews, not Titus O'Neil, not I can't even think of anybody's name now because of how badly everybody's being booked. Not Bray Wyatt. Well, Matt Hardy's out also. Braun Strowman's on the heel list because of his recent booking. Not who else am I missing here? Really, I don't know. But that just shows how sad, why this balance is off. Because those are the only, heck, even Finn Balor could be off his list. Really, the only 3 baby faces that matter on the entire episode show of Raw is the Shield. That's the only ones. And who is in the core member of that group? My boy, Roman Reigns. Roman. It's a best of Raw. I have bronchitis here, guys. Just kidding. I don't have it for real, but I coughed, so I had to cover that up. 4 to 8 people, and maybe even less, shows how bad the face and heel balances on the main roster is. And also shows how terrible Monday Night Raw is to begin with because of that. But yeah, I had to share this with you guys. Again, being lenient, 8 out of 22 baby faces on Raw feel relevant. And probably less than that. Unreal. And of course, let me go back down to the totals again. I counted, hold on, this is slow, trying to get all the way down to the bottom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so for the heels, 45 out of 66 feel relevant. 38 out of 58 for baby faces. That is not good percentages, guys. No way, Jose. And yeah, he of course is just a jobber now pretty much. But excuse me, yeah, I had to share that with you guys. So that's it for that. And that's pretty much it for this review. I'll check the live chat again in just a minute here. Let's look at the polls on Twitter here and see what we've got here. First, let me check my my other poll that I did before. We got 9 votes on it. Let's see if Mr. Oh, you didn't know blocked me because I tagged him in this. No, he did not. Unreal. He did not block me. He did not block me. Actually, I have 2 notifications. Oh, it's probably from my what did I reply to? I replied to somebody when I was using, probably because I tagged people in that tweet. Wow, stupid. Twitter is ridiculous sometimes. Well, I don't understand it sometimes. But anyways, Kylie Jenner's in my Twitter requests. No thanks. Anyway, so let's check the polls out on Twitter really quick here. I'll check that new one last, but Mr. Road Dogg did not block me yet. Wow. I don't know. I felt like I'd take a crack at it tonight. But anyway, so 5 votes for Great Review Smackdown Live this week. 5 votes, 40% said A, 60% said B. Nobody said anything lower than that. And what show did you enjoy more this week, Raw or SmackDown Live? 4 votes. 1 said Raw, 3 said SmackDown Live. Probably Road Dogg who voted for that. And then the other poll so far as to which match should be the main event of Evolution. 9 votes. And we have 22% saying Ronda and Nikki. Probably Road Dogg or Vince. 78% saying Becky versus Charlotte. You people have great taste, I shall say. So that's the polls there. I'm going to give SmackDown Live a B-. on a B minus. I mean, not B minus, a B plus. Sorry, B plus. Man, again, this close to getting an A minus, but one, didn't like how they had Becky Lynch try to run away from the match. Two, wasn't a fan of the Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy match, and also, I mean, the main event wasn't bad. Wasn't anything too fancy though. So just missed getting an A minus for me. But hopefully, we'll be in that territory next week for SmackDown Live 1000, which hopefully will be much better than Raw 25. Not just showing up and going, hi, and then walking off the stage. Which is stupid. Oh, that's right. Mr. Holla Holla Player is going to be there next week. I'm sure he's going to make a tag team match player as well. So who knows? Oh, yeah. And also, I forgot, we're also getting Excuse Me. I couldn't squeal because my voice is too deep. But let's see what we got now in the live chat. It looks like it's all Lauren, which is completely cool. Let's see here. Where are we at? Where are we at? She gave SmackDown Live an A minus. She said, knowing WWE, Cena won't be at SmackDown Live next week because of his filming in China. Come on, Cena. You say you love WWE, but do you really? I mean, that is true. Is he really? Are you doing the turns this year like you said? Which, what are you referring to with that? She's saying that Rude, Ambrose, Charlotte, Asuka, and Roman need to turn heel. Maybe Cena would be awesome if those last two happen, but they probably won't. Face turns to be Braun, yes. Becky, yes. McIntyre, sure. Alexa, yes. Owens, cool. Mickey James, sure. And the Iconics, maybe. I'm not sure about that one. Sasha or Bayley or Finn need a heel turn too. Sasha, definitely. Finn, wait on Finn. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Finn get a heel run. I thought he was going to do it over the summer because they were teasing something with him and Seth Rollins. But right now, he still needs to be a babyface and help put people other than they were heels over, I'd say. Well, no. Not putting people over. He needs to go over. Finn Balor needs to go over as well. But he was a babyface. I think Seth needs a face turn. Miz, I respect that I had to disagree about, but Miz, keep him a heel. Miz as a face, I'm sorry, would be bland as hell. In my opinion, he'd be another Bobby Roode. I feel as a baby face. Riot Squad needs a face turn. Someone from the Riot Squad needs to turn face, definitely. Raw definitely has more heels than SmackDown Live. It feels like that because how many of them feel relevant and how many don't? From the face side, at least, as I said before. Her opinion, Orton didn't need the heel turn, to be honest, but they could have kept him as a badass face. They could have. She doesn't think Nakamura didn't need the heel turn. Kendrick needs the face turn. Again, it seemed like he did last week on 205 Live. But again, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just not sure if it's, Kendrick, just leaving his alliance, but still being a heel. So I want to wait and see what happens on 205 Live this week. She thinks Jeff and Ray should try being heel as well. Would be something different. She thinks the SmackDown Live needs one more qualified babyface. Since Ray and Batista are returning, they could be. Pretty much, yeah, they could be. Yeah, I forgot about Maurice. My bad. Jones could turn face. I mean, it's possible now with where he's at now. Styles, she thinks could turn heel. Wouldn't mind seeing Styles take a crack at the heel run again. Cole needs to turn face. Michael Cole. That'd be an interesting one. Brian, Styles, and Jeff are relevant face on SmackDown Live, and Orton and Joe are relevant heels for sure. Yes, I didn't leave them on the list. Charlotte's the only face relevant on SmackDown Live, and Becky is the only relevant heel, really. Alexa and the Bellas are relevant heels. Braun, Drew, and Dolph are relevant heels, and the relevant faces are Shield, DX, and Brothers Destruction. Once again, they're part-timers, and count them. Alexa and Bella's relevant heels. Ronda's relevant face. Sasha deserves better too. She is irrelevant now, as is Mickey, which is sad. It is. She claims Bobby Roode needs to leave. Yeah, Bobby Roode. If he does not turn heel soon, he's got to leave because he's hit rock bottom. He pretty much doesn't even, belong on Raw anymore with how bad his character has gotten. Zayn doesn't need to return as babyface. I agree. Finn is irrelevant now, pretty much. Cena's relevant, but it's too much hype for him. I agree. Gable and Shelton deserve better. Yeah, why did they split them up? Why did they split them up? Just to put Chad Gable on Raw for a few months as a sales competitor, do nothing with him besides have him have how many matches with Jinder My Balls, and then have him become a part of a random tag team praising Bobby Roode. That's why I call him Team Too Happy, because Chad Gable especially is way too happy around Bobby Roode. Way too happy, as I say. B team deserve better. I definitely agree. Bray and Matt is irrelevant ever since they were drafted to Raw. I mean, Matt might be retired. Bray has not been used since they dropped their tag titles. Nia does deserve better. Shield just made the list. Vince and Roman could be a romance. Oh, God, no. No, thank you. No, thank you. Not a romance angle between Vince and Roman, but that would be creepy as hell. 2018 is the worst booking in too many turns this year. Stop, Vince, and not one stop, two stops, of course. That's a terrible percentage. No wonder TV is wrecking. Exactly. Raw had a better view this week because of the part-timers. Exactly. That is sad. And she's not following Road Dogg or Vince because they're terrible at writing. I don't follow them either on Twitter, but I still tag them in the post, but I don't follow them either. Becky versus Charlotte is definitely main event. And show returning. Who is writing this shit? Road Dogg. Great view as always, and gotta get up at 5 a.m. for work. Love your ranting. See you Thursday for your special stream. Love you, sweet dreams. Love. Thanks, Lauren, definitely, as always, for tuning in. You're always giving great insights, as always. It's awesome. But yeah. So with that being said, I think that I will cut this stream out here and go back to playing some Shaps 3000. But yeah, thank you, Lauren, and to anybody else who watched this stream afterwards for joining me for my SmackDown Live review and talking about also my face and heel balances as well, proving that the biggest Achilles heel is the baby faces on Raw and how irrelevant almost all the 22 baby faces feel right now. That is just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Hashtag Raw Cleanse. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm going to check out here. Tomorrow I'll be back up here live for 205 Live and NXT reviews. Hopefully expect a couple more levels of Shabs 3000 to be uploaded as well. I'm trying to get that game done as soon as possible, as well so I can go on other things with the channel. Thursday, my special stream will be top 10 SmackDown moments. My top 10 favorite SmackDown moments of all time. And then just keep me around for anything else to come to this channel. So guys, B+ for SmackDown Live. What were your thoughts and your grade for SmackDown Live? Thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure, as always, to click buy, like, and subscribe on more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. And guys, I am checking out. I'll see you guys later. And also participate in the Twitter poll as well. Let's prove that we want the Charlotte and Becky match to be the main event of Evolution, and not Ronda Rousey and Miss Sexy Ass Shaker to be in the main event of Evolution. So guys, I'm checking out. Thank you again, Lauren, for joining me live. I'm checking out. I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.